All right, friends. So I am here in my studio to show you what we're going to do with the design that we created last week. So now that you have your 8 designs, okay, now that you have your designs, you now want to pick which design you like the most. You can also choose to combine designs together for your final rendering or final drawing. All right, so I have a piece of paper here that is a rectangle, but we need it to be a square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the corner of the paper and I'm going to fold it down like you're making an airplane. You're going to come all the way over to the side. So I'm going to fold it down to meet up with the side so it makes a triangle with a little piece hanging off the bottom. We don't need that little piece, so we're just going to snip that little piece off. So if you have scissors, you're just going to cut that little piece off because we want to make this paper into a square and not a rectangle. So I'm just going to snip that little piece off. And sorry about the glare behind me with the mirror or the window, but we're going to need the window. So that's why I'm here. So now I have a giant triangle. I want to open that up so that it becomes a square. All right. Now you're going to fold this in half like a card. It doesn't matter which direction because squares are the same on all sides. So I'm going to fold it nice and even. Look at it with your eyeballs. See if it's nice and flush. And then you're going to fold it again. All right. So you have a smaller square. So when you open it up, you should have 4 boxes. Okay. Now, I have my 4 boxes and I want to draw inside of one of them. So I have my 4 boxes here. I want to pick one to draw in. So I'm going to pick this one to draw in. And I'm going to pick my design that I like. I like this one. And I'm going to redraw it as neat as I can into that. So let me grab a ruler. And a ruler is a nice handy dandy instrument to have so that you can make straight lines. So looking at that design, it looks like I started off with 3 lines and I might have to change my design a little bit because it looks like because I was on a more rectangular paper. So now I really want it to be more of a square. So I'm going to do a series of boxes and I'm just using my ruler to help me draw my lines. I'm drawing up against my ruler. So I'll let you see that here. You see how I'm drawing up against my ruler. I'm making vertical lines in my box. Just that one box. Don't do it in all of your boxes. I'm now going to go the opposite way and cross over again in that box. This time I'm going to do horizontal lines. Use that ruler to help you keep it straight. If you don't have a ruler, a book is a good thing to use, the side of another piece of paper. But now I have a series of boxes just in that one box over here. So don't draw it in all of them. So now I'm going to go and start drawing my design. So I remembered in my design that I curved up to the corners. I'm going to do that. I want this super neat, so please take your time. Please do not rush. This is your final product. You want it to be nice. And you might have to do your final product a few times just to get it right. But I'm going to draw that design that I created into this box. And I'm going to show it to you in just a second, just trying to finish up the lines. So I have that part there. Okay. Then from there, I actually have my, and I'm going to be honest, I just realized that I drew it incorrectly. So it looks a little different from my design, but I actually like what I drew. I drew the design a little differently than I drew it the first time I did it, and so it doesn't look exactly the same, but I'm actually happy with the results. And you might find that that happens with you too. You may draw it a different way, and you're like, oh, you know what? I like this way though. As long as it's neat and you have your lines and your patterns, it's okay if you draw it a little differently than what you drew it the first time. And it's probably going to be a little different because now we're dealing with a square and not a rectangle. So your design will probably change slightly, and that is okay. Again, try to make this nice and neat. I'm doing my lines from the previous design in here, my diagonal lines, and then that's how it looks. Okay. And now all that's left to do are the circles. Now we're done with the drawing. You don't have to draw anymore because we're done drawing it. We've drew it. Now we need to get it into the other boxes. So now we're going to trace it. So we're going to fold our paper backwards so that this is on one side and you have a blank side. Now I want to put this side up against a window. I want to put my drawing up against my window. So that's why you see me right here by my window. So I'm going to change my direction so you can see my window a little bit better. And I'm going to put my drawing up against the window. This will turn that into a light box, and now I can see through my paper and I can see my design. So by doing that, I can now see and trace my design onto the other side of the paper. It's going to be symmetrical. We talked about that word. That word symmetrical means the same on both sides. So it's going to be symmetrical. I'm going to take my time. Take your time. It's not a race. Take your time. Trace very lightly. Trace with a pencil, not a Sharpie at your window. So you don't mess up your mom's window. You can always trace back over it with a Sharpie or something dark. Again, I'm taking my time and I'm tracing it very nice and neatly. If you have a light box at home, you can use a light box, but most people don't have light boxes at home. I don't have a light box at home. All right. So I'm just tracing my lines. So that it's going to become a mirror image when I open it up. It's going to be the exact same image that I had from before on the other side, but they're going to connect together. All right, so now I have it traced. Go back so you can see it a little bit better. I have it traced, and I have the other side. When I open it, they're going to connect together to make a bigger pattern. Now I need to get all of this down here. Simple. I just fold the paper back, and now I have the drawing on one side, and I have the blank side. And you guessed it, I'm going to take my drawing and put it back up against the window. And I'm going to trace it again so that it becomes a mirror image at the bottom. So when you open it, your design has grown from one box to one big box. You've just scaled it bigger. And then, last but not least, you want to color your design. I encourage you to use contrasting colors. So use some dark colors mixed with some brighter colors. So you have your cool colors like your purples, your greens, your blues. Mix them in with some of your yellows and your reds and your oranges to make it pop. So if you make this area green, then maybe those little circles are yellow. So they pop. Okay. I can't wait to see what you create. I can't wait to see your design. Take your time, make it neat. Make it neat. All right, friends. Love you, and I'll see you later. Bye.